testicles or whatever. And this is real stuff. It was really horrid stuff. And I can't remember where exactly I was reading it. But this is something I would definitely expect from a demonized army that's going to be here, such as China and Germany. Just no compassion for humanity. And you have to wonder if half of these soldiers are just controlled by the chip implants they're given while they're in the military. And this controlled by this elf technology that could force them to do horrendous things to people. And maybe just the fact that some of them are just subhuman at that point. They've been soul scalped and they're demonized and they're being controlled by aliens and demons even though they have human bodies. And we're just going to see a lot of grotesque stuff that's coming, stuff that we've never seen on our own soil. And stuff that the churches have always kept out of the churches, stuff the mainstream media doesn't report on, and never will. There's blackouts. And, it just floored me when I was looking in the codes the other day at Image of the Beast. I know I just posted one called Worship the Beast, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But when you look at Image of the Beast, the word blackout is right across the top of it. And I was just like... how does he, we know he knows. He knows the end from the beginning. He knows exactly what we're going to do. But it's just amazing that just blackout would come out and all this other stuff in regards to Image of the Beast, because a lot of this stuff is going to start in Saudi Arabia first and then come over to America. So it's kind of like America is being conquered from the outside. And, of course, Bush would handily give somebody the keys to America as long as they worship Satan, because he's just a Satan follower himself. He's a puppet. And that's what's going to happen, basically. And so a lot of this stuff's going to start over in Saudi Arabia and work its way over here. And I haven't really decided yet, because I can't decide, because the codes go, like I said, the codes will go 3 different ways on any one thing. And so you really can't just pinpoint on one exact thing, because you can find 3 different roads that can happen. This Maitreya, this is definitely one road that can be taken. This Iranian Mahdi that they're waiting to come, and somebody sent me an email in regards to this Share International making an announcement on their website. It's the official website for Maitreya, that they expect him in just a few months. And yeah, I've been reporting out last couple of shows. I've been talking about it. And the article was written in February of 2007, February this year, last month, or 2 months ago, 2007, said that Maitreya would emerge on the world scene in a few months. And I've always said that the most dominant months for this Maitreya to arrive were May, June, and July. So we're looking at May, June, and July. And this Jesus, this Sananda, the one that the churches worship, his dominant month is September, because he's going to mimic, most of the churches are waiting for a rapture in September, and so Satan's going to accommodate them, but instead of being a rapture, he's going to arrive in the skies, mimicking the Lord's second coming, Yahushua's second coming, and of course he's going to go by the name Jesus. And so that seems to be the most dominant, is that these 2 beasts are going to work together, Maitreya and this Jesus. They're going to work together. Another one being that this Maitreya comes first. He's going to be the king of the South, folks. He's the king of the South. And lead the world into wars and disasters, and then try to take over the world for Islam, and that including America. And then be killed, and then this Sananda arises. Jesus comes. After the bad Antichrist is gone, then all of a sudden our Savior comes, which is Sananda. And Sananda is Satan. Sananda is just outright Satan, as Satan. And because I've been saying all along, this picture of Jesus, everyone's been looking at in their churches all these years, has been Satan. And so when he arrives as Jesus, then everyone's going to think, Maitreya's gone, he's dead, the Antichrist has been killed, and here's Jesus. You're just in for another double whammy after that, because he's going to institute, let me tell you something about the Lord's second coming. He's not coming to institute an economic policy, folks. He's not coming to establish his kingdom on earth until this earth has been destroyed first, and we'll have a separation of the wheat and goats and all those kinds of things And so there's a big difference. When the Lord comes, he's going to come at the height of world war. Satan's going to gather all his armies at Mount Megiddo, and you've heard of the War of Armageddon, and where he's going to try to defend Earth against this arrival, this coming of the second coming of Yahushua. And so, just remember that Satan comes first, because I know when a lot of this starts to happen, all of a sudden you're not going to be able to remember anything. You're just going to go mind blank, and you're going to be like, what's next? Because you're not expecting to see the first things that happen to begin with. You're expecting to be gone, because the church has been touting for years there's going to be this massive rapture. Everybody's gone. So you're either going to think that you've been deceived and lied to, or you've just misunderstood prophecy. No, this is Jesus coming to earth. There is no rapture because he's coming to earth. That could be another route to get people deceived. But Satan comes first. He's going to establish his economic system on earth. Everybody has to join his global kingdom on earth. He's not going to refer to it in terms we expect. He's not going to call it hell on earth. He's not going to call himself Satan. He's not going to say, if you get my chip and join my kingdom, you're damned for eternity in hell. He's going to turn everything around and make it sound like he is creating a kingdom of heaven on earth. And if you want atonement and you want to join his kingdom, then you have to get his mark or tattoo on your forehead or in or on your right hand. And so, it's going to be very deceptive and just very religiously and love and light and da-da-da. And meanwhile, all the persecutions are going on, murders, destructions, earthquakes. And I'm not laughing because that's funny, but it's just, the whole time he's here, God's wrath is going to be on the earth. And so here comes God, okay? Satan's going to come as God. He's everybody's redeemer. He's going to redeem everybody. But he can't save his own earth because the Lord, the real Most High, is destroying it as he speaks on earth. I can't wait for some of this stuff to happen, really, because, you're really going to notice the difference between someone who's claiming to be God and the one who is. Because his wrath is going to be on this earth. Every time Satan moves, he's going to feel God's wrath on this earth. You can look at the bowl judgments and the trumpet judgments, and it's the Lord's judgments on this earth that are going to destroy most of it. And so, so much for their weather weapons and so much for all their little space defense systems, and they're never going to know what to expect next. The destructions are going to come left and right from the Lord. And so, the only justice that a lot of people are going to have who've been killed at that point and by then, is that the Most High is going to do as he says, and he's going to destroy this earth, and he's going to destroy Satan's second attempt in rebellion against him. But what we have to do as the Lord's people is to be able to stand through the persecution unto death, to even claim a white robe for the Most High, for the Lord, our belief in him. And so a lot of people are going to have to die for their faith. I posted a code, Worship the Beast, worked on that last week. And I was just so floored. Something I totally did not expect to find. And I listed it at hiddencodes.com. And because you see in Revelation chapter 13, the first thing that happens is mankind is required to worship the beast. And if you don't worship the image of the beast, then you will be killed. You're worthy of death. I'll kill you on the spot if you refuse to worship the image of the beast. And then you see after that where the mark, that tattoo, the name, or his number, imprint, tattoo, chip, implant is what I believe, in or on your right hand or forehead. Then that takes place because you can't participate in society without it. That is not worthy of death. You can actually refuse to get it, but you're going to have to live underground. You're going to have to find different ways of survival because you can't cash a check. You can't pay your taxes, so you probably won't have a house to live in. Can't pay your bills because you don't have your federal ID number or whatever it is.